What's up? It's your boy D Change coming at ya with another Daily Dave. It's super late. I had a really good conversation catching up with some old friends, reminiscing about old times and whatnot. I left the autofocus on the camera. But what I was originally going to talk about, and I still will, just slightly, is I have this calendar item. I'm going to turn off the autofocus real quick. So I have this calendar item for tomorrow? In 2 days? On May 1st. And it says, when coronavirus is over, plan climbing with so-and-so. As in like rock climbing. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Unless we do reopen super soon. Oh gosh, I see that. Like the hairs near my ears are like flaring out, and sometimes they like bother my ears now too. I think I need to like trim them. Probably eliminate my sideburns too, because I keep shaving, but then the hairs keep getting longer, and now they just maybe I can curl them. It's terrible, terrible luck. Don't look at that. So anyway, I guess this is kind of like what I wanted to get at was like a new normal, so to speak, which is something that some people have been saying, like some experts, scientists, virologists, doctors, some politicians, but at the same time there's also the argument against it. And I want to be understanding, you know. So I'm like a little, you know, I try to be receptive of opposing views, but I definitely feel like, you know, we're better off kind of waiting it out. You know, there is a guideline in place as to what we should be looking out for. You know, the lowering of case numbers, the slowing down of the death rate, hopefully like a very solid reduction in R naught. Because the reality is, if transmission is not suppressed well enough, you know, it's just gonna come back. There's likely to be a second wave. History has shown us that in pandemics, you know, there are instances where the second wave is much worse than the first one. And we really don't want to do that. But I understand it's difficult because, you know, we're weighing a lot of different factors here, and because of what we've already done, we've been influencing the numbers. And so I guess it's easy to kind of like say, oh, the predictions were totally off, you know. But I mean, I would also argue that those were initial models based on an idea that we wouldn't take action, and that's why action was so important. Therefore, the current numbers are reflective of, you know, different circumstances and situations, as well as the actual actions that we've taken to mitigate such a problem. In California's case, our cases are concentrated in certain areas, so I understand more sparse and rural towns want to open up sooner rather than later. And you know what? It might be okay for them, maybe. But yeah, we just don't have enough information. We're fighting a war with a virus, and we just don't have intel. So it would help a lot to either, you know, to instate rigorous contact tracing, or the best we can with our current privacy laws in place, ramp up testing, manufacturing, and availability, and really just stuff like sorting people, I guess, into risk groups. I mean, that's not too unrealistic, you know. It's kind of related to contact tracing, and it would be great if we could implement all of them. All of these things could be put into place, and of course, you know, rigorous processes to ensure safety of people in infected zones. I guess what I really just don't like hearing is like, oh, there's an outbreak and, you know, people aren't really doing anything to clamp down on it. But yeah, at the same time, you know, you can make the argument that like doing something but not doing the right thing could make things worse. So who knows? But yeah, the new normal is not gonna look like the old normal, right? Like I don't see huge public gatherings happening again anytime soon. You know, maybe in a post-vaccine world, post-universal vaccine world. I don't know, because we're not sure about mutation rates. We're not sure about efficacy of current vaccine methods. But what is really promising though is that it sounds like a lot of smart people are working on this. So there will be different methods. There will be different parts of the virus used, etc. So that's nice. I think that's generally a good. We're moving in the right direction, right? Now it's just a like there's just a lot of things to take into account. So yeah, probably no gyms and rock climbing though. Still for the month of May, at least for us. We'll see though, because I think policy is supposed to be evaluated at the end of this week. Though I believe shelter in place is still mandated for up till the 15th, and then after that we'll see. That'll be evaluated again. On the more cautious side, there's the worry that the cases have not been going down. They've just plateaued. And so if we were to lift restrictions, we might see another rise in cases. So we will see. But yeah, I just thought it was really funny that my calendar notified me and said, hey, you got this thing planned out. And I don't, when did I make it? Maybe like 2 months, maybe 3 months ago. I don't know. I think it was, I forget if it was right before shelter in place or if it was a while before, but when I did message this friend, I said, hey, things aren't looking too great and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to, we're going to be able to meet up for this. And we should really just wait and see how things go. And yeah, I was just talking to some other people and saying like, yeah, in the month of February, we're still getting lunch together, talking to people, seeing our friends and saying, it's kind of worrying, but, I hope it doesn't, get too bad here, but I guess we should be mentally prepared. And then, within less than a month, it's like everyone stay at home if you can. So things can definitely change, and it's good to remind ourselves of how nothing is forever, I guess. How I'm much more sympathetic, and I align with the thinking that it's better to overreact than to underreact. It's better to be, safe than sorry, better to have more precautions. Because if you're wrong, you're just wrong and you look silly. But if you underprepare and you're wrong, you might suffer the consequences. Or you might not. That's the crazy thing about this whole thing. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's like a lottery. It's not like people are purely randomly getting infected. It is based on your choices. So, but anyway, yeah. Man, just yeah, sometimes I think about it and it's like, man, this year, I mean, New Year's resolutions are crappy anyway, but this year I wanted to accomplish certain things. And I said this before too, so it's not really new. You can skip this episode. It's terrible because it's it's just a repeat, But yeah. I mean, I guess we shouldn't feel like this is just a wasted year and that we should just reset it or whatever. It'd be great, right? We could just pretend this never happened, but that's not how time works. I think I think it's good to kind of get this time though to take a step back and just experience a different setting and kind of understand, you know, a little bit more about who we are and who our family is, and you know what's important to us, right? So for example, in my case, I feel like I have more opportunities for introspection. I don't get to go out and entertain my thoughts away, and this gives me a taste of like how prepared am I, how can I manage my stress when, you know, I feel like I'm helpless at times or not able to help. So it's kind of, you know, presented that opportunity. And again, you know, I'm probably doing all right on the spectrum of, you know, how you would rate how the pandemic has affected you. So, but again, it's definitely got me thinking about contingency plans, right? Like how I should be saving money, how I should be making more money, how I should be having more fail safes, right? Because the reality is, like, if I were to lose my job, then it's like, what am I gonna do, right? Well, I've gotta pull out that plan for getting a new job, right? Or like trying to start a business or make multiple streams of income. Time to join an MLM, boys. Here we go. Just destroy my social network for money. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. So yeah, I guess it's just this is just me rambling about, you know, what is the new normal gonna look like. I would hope we adopt a lot of the methods and processes in Asia that are helping to kind of slow transmission down, you know, such as like hand sanitizers in restaurants, you know, operate at 25 to 50% capacity, masks, more hand washing with soap, and yeah, just a general, I would hope a general awareness of kind of like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be too in each other's faces and not coughing at each other and stuff like that. I would hope so too. But I would also be a little bit afraid of, say, hey, you look a certain way, so I think you're probably diseased. And I would definitely feel a lot less at home if that became the new norm as well. So it's just something to think about. Yeah, I mean, it pops up every now and then. Of course, I'm, you know, I at least keep up minimally with updates. If anything, I just listen to like NPR's Coronavirus Daily just to get the gist of things. And then there's plenty of podcasts I listen to that still cover specific issues that are affected by the pandemic. But yeah, I'm much less hooked on that information now. Now that I know that, like, at this rate, all it really is, you know, us attempting to band together to slow things down and allow the people who are like super good at what they do to create solutions to these problems. But yeah, you know, we should always be proud to take on any responsibility we can, to have our own agency. So, you know, if you're contributing by staying at home, that's great. If you're contributing by helping to deliver food for the elderly, that's great. If you're helping to by volunteering at food banks, that's great. If you're donating money to causes, that's great, you know? So it's like that Fred Rogers quote, right? Where it's like, when you're scared, just look for the helpers, because there's always ways to help. Something like that. It is way too late for me to come up with anything more significant or profound, so I'm going to leave you with that one. Look for the helpers. And I guess ask yourself how you can help out as well. All right, I'll talk to you in the next one, guys. Peace out.